Just because you're good at something doesn't mean to keep doing it. So you may be good at what you're doing, but you don't have the passion for it. That means make a change. And I spoke at a Nurses Week conference in Washington, D.C., and this one nurse practitioner came up to me and she said, I'm the example of what you were talking about. And I said, tell me about it. She said, well, I'm a nurse practitioner. I have 3 master's degrees. Last semester, I filled in for an educator who was taking a sabbatical. So I worked with students for 1 semester. She said, and I realized my passion is now in education. I'm switching over. I'm going into a doctoral program. I'm switching into education. So just because she was good at something doesn't mean to keep doing it. So if you've lost the passion, do something else. And then along that line also, just because you're not good at something doesn't mean don't do it. This can relate to yesterday with people with fitness. Just because you're not good at going to the gym or knowing what to do, it doesn't mean don't go. Go there and you learn from it. Now, my one daughter and I have often done some races together. And she's, of course, she's young and she's very, very fast. And she will make a comment to me like, I don't think I'm going to finish the race because I just had a baby and I'm not back in shape yet. And I will say, well, Jojo, I will finish the race, but just wait for me at the end because I'm slow. I will come through. You can count on me showing up. So we start the race. She's behind me. The next thing I see, she comes flying by, running like the whole thing full speed. The person who thought she couldn't do it. I finally come in at the end and I said, you know what really helped me with this run? I said, I saw a sign. The guy was holding his sign and it said, run like a cheetah if your name's Anita. And so remember how I told you like a rhythm? So I got to that rhythm, run like a cheetah if your name's Anita. And I did the whole race saying that over and over again. It just kept me at it. That was my race pace. So she said to me, Mom, that's not you. Slow as taffy if your name's Kathy. So she just really quick, she came up with that. And so 2 summers ago, one of my nieces said to me, she said, Aunt Kathy, you like to run, you like to bike, you like to swim. Why don't you do a triathlon? Now, here's the example, somebody presenting an opportunity, and I said, let me think about it. So one day I'm swimming at the pool, and I see this woman, and she said, I'm here to swim because I'm going to do a triathlon this summer. And I said, oh, where are you going to do it? It's the same one my niece was telling me about. So I called my niece, and I said, okay, I'm in. You got me interested, I'm going to do it. So I did my first triathlon, and my husband did it also. Now, it was a sprint triathlon, so it's not like what you might be thinking. You swim a quarter of a mile, you ride your bike 15 miles, and then you run 3 miles at the end. So I did this thing. At the end, we're getting ready to put our bikes in our car, and I hear my name being called. So I go over. When you know it, I got a plaque. I win a trophy. I'm 3rd place. I'm 3rd place because there's 3 people in my age group. So I thought, okay, so the next week, our hospital is having a race for your heart. And so we thought, we're in shape from this. Let's just go ahead and do this. So I enter this race, 1st place, only 1 person in my age group. So I called my kids and I said, I think I found my niche. I just need to show up. So 2 weeks later, I did another triathlon, and I'm doing this triathlon where you had to bike over a railroad track. I got to the railroad track, and a train was coming. I lost like 9 minutes waiting for the train to go by. Then I'm going up the hill, and the chain comes off of my bike at the steepest part of like a 4-mile hill. So I walk my bike the rest of the way up, and I ask the monitor to help me get the chain back on. Meanwhile, I have grease all over my hands. I'm wiping them on my pants, getting back on the bike. I thought I might as well just finish. It's better just to keep going. So when you know it, I come in 2nd, only 2 people in my age group. So the point of the thing is, sometimes you just have to show up. You show up and be ready. If you show up at the gym in your gym clothes, you're going to work out. If you show up at the pool in your bathing suit, you're going to swim. If you show up at the track in your sneakers, you're going to walk. So the idea, just relate this to anything, any fitness goal you have, just show up. It doesn't really matter how you do. No one really looks at you. everybody's just concerned about how their own fitness routine. So just apply that to whatever your goal was related to energy, about going to the gym for the first time or trying anything. Just show up. And if your goal relates to that you want to do something related to writing, again, show up at a writer's club. Join something, and you just show up and start doing it. So you don't have to be good. You just have to be persistent. That's one of the keys.